Hi everyone, so I'm here once again on my midday walk, but I want to show you in front of me first. So this is the Humberby East Park here in Toronto, and it's really beautiful, right? It has been rained yesterday, last night, that's why the water is not really clear, but usually it's beautiful. So as I'm going to be walking here, I'm going to be showing you my surrounding as well, and it's also the reason that maybe you get a habit to go outside and actually enjoy the nature, be part of it. That really helps you living, I would say, a healthy life, both mentally and physically, right? So that's here, I would say. You can see the downtown from here too, so that's the CN Tower there. Okay, so I'm actually sitting here right now. I still want to show it in front of me. So this is what I see in here, and it's kind of really calm here. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a bit cloudy, but anyways, okay. So the reason I'm actually making I would say more videos these days, and the reason that I'm actually like speaking out more, so here is my real story, right? So I did my bachelor's in psychology and neuroscience from University of Toronto, a prestigious institution, right? And afterwards I did my MBA, master in business administration. That's really good. Okay, now you have another degree, you're happy about it, right? And then I work in operation management. I would say 2 previous startups as well, in fintech and others. And then I started learning coding myself. So right now I can call myself a full stack developer, I would say, but not really, I would say a really professional one, but still I can build apps. So I have built 2 other apps too. At some point I might share about them more with you. But then, so I know how to build the backend on AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. So the reason I'm telling you this everything, right? So I would say some people might think of me, okay, oh, so she has accomplished this everything, and which is okay. She's living a good life in Canada, and then that entire thing, right? But here is the real truth about it, right? I would say I also have lived in Afghanistan, so I am from Afghanistan, right? So I have lived in extreme poverty. There would be no food for, I would say, weeks, literally weeks, right? So the only thing you can have is like go outside, find some vegetables, and that's the food. Or like when we were kids, if you get a candy, that's like the best thing you can have during the day, right? So, and then also I have lived in Pakistan, living a life of refugees as well, right? And it was really tough too, both like physically, mentally, emotionally, and everything. Have lost family members and everything, but with that everything together, right? So life teaches you so much. If then you decide, like you reach a point, you have so many difficult life circumstances, right? And then there are times you might have like somehow easier life, right? But I would say none of that matters. Literally, none of that really matters. What hardship you went through or what kind of easy life you're actually having right now, right? The only and only thing that I would say from my life experiences that matters is this thing, that you as a human being or as a person, you really give yourself the time to find out what's your spark, what's your true talent, and what is it that really motivates you, right? What is the big why inside you? So that's your first responsibility, that you do this. Once you do that, then you build your skills, you do your education, you do everything else to kind of move you in that direction and nothing else. You have to be really loyal and committed to this one big thing that you have in your life that kind of is your life purpose, right? So at this moment, there's so many other expectations from you in life, right? So you need to have like get a stable job, I would say kind of like get married, have kids, have a house, and everything, right? So like I think so that's the life cycle all of us go through it, right? But then I would say 99% of us literally do that, right? But then there is 1% of people who, I would say, consciously they decide to live a different life, right? So I would really say not everyone should do this thing. Only people who think, I'm not sure, that there is this cry inside them that they can try. But then again, I would say I'm 100% wrong on this thing, saying okay, only certain number of people do. I would say every single one of us should be doing that, right? So right now I wanted to become of those 1% that the society might call them loser, the society might call them lost, the society might call them whatever name they give them, it doesn't matter. So I want to see my life when I die after 50 years or say a century after that, what is the name that the people will remember me by, right? So right now I'm a living being here, so once there is only a tomb, a stone, and there is my name to it, then what is the thing, what's the legacy that I have left? And I think so that's also the thing I would invite every other person to do the same thing, because we are a species, a conscious species. We have intelligence and wisdom, so we should better use it in better ways, right? So now I'm going to be leaving you, I would say, with the last thing, right? So I want to share 3 things about me with you, right? There is one thing that really fascinates me. There is another thing that really scares me and makes me worried. And then there is a third thing that actually really excites me, makes me hopeful and happy, right? So the first thing that fascinates me, right, I would say is this thing, it's the young people, right? And I wouldn't say just young people, it can be just any number of people. And I say young people because that's their prime time, right? Where their potential can be used in so many different ways, in a much more effective ways. That's why I say young people. So the place that I actually live in, there are, I would say there are 2 schools. One is a high school, another one is med school. So whenever I stand for the bus stop to go to work, I see so many young people, and I kind of wonder, every single one of them have so much potential, so much talent, but how are the schools actually training them? They are giving them math, physics, biology, in whatever number of those subjects. There's nothing wrong about those things, but the thing is, they haven't found out if that's the way that they wanted to go forward with, if that's their true spark and their true, I would say, the true talent that can be used in a better way. So that's why the schools are not that effective either. So I also go to UFT sometimes. I see so many students in there too, right? And it kind of really fascinates me. Okay, there is so much in them. What if we were able to use them in the right way, right? So it's an age of an AI. I would say, like, if you see so many startups, so many companies, and so many businesses going towards building on AI and everything, but I would say there is this other big potential that's kind of, I would say, latent and untapped potential, and that's in our young people. Why are we not training them in the right way? Why are we not training them in a way that can actually make society a much more better place? I could say 100x or 100 times better one. But we are not doing that. We're focusing on the things that I would say the trend of the day, it's AI. We focus on that. So that's fine. You can focus on AI, science, and everything. They are actually helpful. But then are you ignoring something that's really crucial to everything? We are ignoring that. So that's the thing that fascinates me. And then what scares me, here's the thing, it's kind of the reason that we are, I would say, why are we not using that latent potential? Why are we not using that untapped immense potential that's in our young people? Why are we training them that you have to go, if it's high school, you get a kind of, I would say, a random number of different courses, you get them, you graduate from the high school, you have learned, literally it's like you have been trained for 12 long years, and at the end of it you cannot use a single subject of it. Okay, now you spend another, maybe you go to college, you spend 2 years, or you go to university, a bachelor's, you do a 4 years, but then still you graduate from it, you don't use a single subject in there. So it's not wrong that if you go to, you have chemistry, you have physics, stats, or whatever number of classes or courses that you take, it's fine. But if you really wanted to become a chemist, you should find that early on, and the system should train you to find it early on, and then you do take all your subjects in that area, right? And if you wanted to become, I would say, a social psychologist, you take courses in that. If you wanted to go to med school, then yes, you go learn biology. But then if you wanted to become a mathematician, right, then you do take those math classes. Otherwise, like if I'm graduating having like, so like 12 years, then another 4 years, that's 16 years, and I have done another 2 more years, so that's 18 years. I have been trained for 18 years to do nothing. Is that really not something to be worried about?